Hello friends, today we are going to see various rural development programs of Government of India. Today we will see various rural development programs launched by Government of India. First we'll deal with Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana program. Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana was launched after merging 6 different earlier programs of Government of India. This incorporated program focused on different aspects of rural development such as women upliftment, skill development, self-employment or youth development, etc. Now we'll see Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana. This program was launched on 1st April 1999. It was specially designed for unemployed below poverty line people. Hence, it covered all aspects of self-employment. Objective of SGSY were: first was to provide sustainable income to rural poor. Here the sustainable income means it is the income which is required by any family to meet all of its basic requirements. Second objective was to establish large number of micro enterprises in rural areas. As there was the major issue of unemployment in the rural area, to reduce or to mitigate the unemployment and to make the good use of the available resources, the setting up of micro enterprises in the rural areas was chosen as the second objective of SGSY. Third objective was to bring the beneficiaries of scheme above the poverty line. Here every family assisted or benefited by SGSY should be above poverty line within a period of 3 years was a target set by our government, and hence this objective was chosen for the SGSY program. Funding for this program was done 75% by central government and 25% by state government, and for getting assistance under this program, District Rural Development Agency and Block Development Officer were contacted by the people. Scope: under this program, below poverty line families were the target group, but amongst below poverty line families, people with SC/ST category were given 50% reservation under this scheme. Moreover, 40% for women and 30% for physically handicapped persons were reserved. Strategy for their work: SGSY is a credit cum subsidy program. It provided loan facilities along with the grants of government to the poor people. It also covered all the aspects of self-employment by forming the women self-help groups, then by providing training, credit facilities, infrastructure and marketing facilities to the poor people. Then under this scheme, the special attention was given over the formation of the women self-help groups and promoting them in the setting up of the small scale or the setting up of these micro enterprises. So in conclusion, Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana majorly focused on formation of self-help groups for poor people and poverty alleviation in rural areas by holistic approach of self-employment by setting up of micro enterprises. Now we'll see the second scheme, that is Indira Awas Yojana. Indira Awas Yojana was launched as a sub-scheme of Rural Labour Employment Guarantee Program. Thereafter, it continued as a sub-scheme of Jawahar Rozgar Yojana since April 1989. Percentage of funds allocated under JRY for sub-scheme Indira Awas Yojana were not sufficient to meet the housing needs of SC and ST families under BPL category. Hence, considering this, in year 1993-94, Indira Awas Yojana was extended to cover non-SC/ST families in rural areas, and after that again they delinked it from JRY and was separately launched from 1st January 1996. Since 25th June 2015, Indira Awas Yojana was renamed as Pradhan Mantri Gramin Awas Yojana. Now it is a flagship program of the Ministry of Rural Development as a part of the larger strategy of rural poverty eradication to enable government to provide housing for the rural poor in India. Here the flagship program means the schemes which are main or the most important one related to the major national concerns such as that may be health issues, education or rural development in that housing facilities etc. Under this scheme the financial assistance of rupees 70,000 was provided in the plain areas while rupees 75,000 was provided to the people living in the topographically undulating areas for construction of their houses, and these houses are basically equipped with the few basic facilities such as toilet, LPG connection, electricity connection and drinking water. Under this program it was mandatory that houses should be allotted in the name of the woman or jointly between husband and wife. And the second rule was that for the construction of the house, the whole sole responsibility should be taken by the beneficiary instead of engaging any kind of contractors. Now here you can see the different objectives which can be asked on this topic. And one subjective question may also be asked, that is, enlist different rural development programs and explain any two in detail. Actually this question was asked in the previous question paper of your semester end examination conducted by NCAER. So thank you very much and do keep watching my channel Learn Agricultural Extension Education. I'll bring you more interesting lectures related to fundamentals of agricultural extension in my future classes. Thank you.